For nearly 50 years, Sergeant David Stull of the Orange County Sheriff's Office thought he was an only child.
It was like the textbook family that I grew up in.
And then, earlier this year, Stull submitted his DNA to the genetic testing site 23andMe.
It said, click here to see your DNA relatives. At the very top of the list, it said half-brother.
Stull grew up not knowing the identity of his biological parents.
When I was born, I was immediately put up for adoption by my biological mother. So I never had any question about where I came from, other than I had no idea who she was or anything about her.
There was a picture of this half-brother, and so Stull clicked on it.
And I could see that he's wearing a police jacket in the picture, and it said Florida.
The man's name was Eric Reynolds. Sergeant Stull discovered that his half-brother Eric was also a law enforcement officer, and he worked just a few hours away here in Boynton Beach.
I see this email, I tap it and go into it, and I just see his first words were, according to 23andMe, we're half brothers. And I was like, what?
The brothers, who are 15 months apart, met for the first time less than 2 weeks later.
We hugged the first time that we met. It felt like he was family.
He found a whole tree of a family, and that he didn't have for 50 years.
It turns out Stull and Reynolds share the same father, who is still alive and lives in Florida. The identity of Stull's mother remains a mystery. What's also a mystery is how two brothers who grew up completely separate from each other both ended up in law enforcement.
So I think warriors are truly born, and you have it in you.
It really was in our DNA.
Following a news conference in August, the story of the brothers has since gone global, and they're okay with that.
In our line of work, there's so much negative. I don't mind this attention at all, because it's the type of story that I think the country needs right now.
Since that first meeting, the brothers have talked almost daily because, well, they have a half century to catch up on.
50 years of stuff.
And yes, there has been some sibling rivalry.
I go, how tall are you? He's like, I'm 5'10". I go, I'm 6 foot, I got you. He's like, darn it,
Stull hasn't decided if he's going to search for his biological mother, but there's time for that.
There's many more chapters to come, but this story is just getting started.